Back for more pain? You must be a glutton for punishment, sitting here with me while we examine ancient torture devices. We'll get those red rubber balls out, strap yourselves in, and... Am I forgetting something? Oh. Now we're ready! So picking up where we left off, Snake is injected back into Russia, where his new objective is to kill the boss and recover the other nuclear device.
You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device.
The same supporting crew is back. The Major, Paramedic, while adding a weapons expert named Sigan. Who the fuck am I gonna meet next? OPSEC? After Snake gets his ass whooped a second time by the boss, he heads out to meet his contact Adam at the burned down factory where we found Sokolov. So you're treading over the same dreary landscape as you did before, only this time it's at night. It's not like it's never been done before. Halo was guilty of doing the same thing. Only that game had class, and this is just ass. Now it's kind of hard to get anywhere quickly because it's night, so let's see if we can speed this up and take a shortcut. Wait, what? Did that just happen? Yeah, I did a leaping barrel roll from 30 feet up and killed a frog. What the fuck kind of logic is that? Referring back to Driver, it's like getting out of your car after you just hit a jump at 100 miles an hour. So Snake shows up to the factory and finds Eva there instead of Adam. I guess Adam couldn't make it and I really couldn't give a fuck. Moving on. Eva tells Snake to go to a lab by way of the warehouse. On the way, you encounter a minefield, a small outpost, and... Not this fuck again! Well, anyway, Ocelot has taken up Snake's advice to use revolvers, and now we have a gun battle, which is oh so conveniently interrupted by B-Guy. And the game is sunk to a new low. Snake falls into a dark-ass cave where Major Dickhole tells him to go find a torch and fuck himself.
American soldiers rely too much on ready-made equipment. If you don't have a flashlight, look for something else.
After navigating forever, Snake finally comes to an opening in the cave to fight the pain. You have to stay underwater a lot to avoid his beasts, and they suck ass because they automatically follow you everywhere. Yeah, I know. Pop your head up every now and again to shoot him. He's not hard, just tedious. After you beat him, he inexplicably explodes, and then you move on to the next swamp, where you're being chased by the floating equivalent of segways with rocket boosters up their ass. Snake moves through the warehouse and enters the lab, where he encounters some other old scientist asshole that I'm not looking for.
He's not here anymore.
Is that a Russian accent I hear? That's refreshing. Anyways, this drunken tub of lard is named Granin, and he apparently runs the Department of Backstory for the Soviet Union. He tells Snake that a next-generation nuclear ICBM tank called the Shagohod is in a lab at the fortress of Groznygrad, along with Sokolov, who has moved there to complete the final preparations for his deployment. Granin is upset that Sokolov was selected to lead the project instead of him, so he chooses to help Snake by telling him of a secret way to get into Groznygrad by using the warehouse.
Yes, a walking tank.
Granin also mentions that something called the Philosopher's Legacy is no longer being used to fund his defunct project, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
So he decided to outsource it to his friend Emmerich's dad back in the States. And so we've come full circle.
These bastards will live to regret this.
After complimenting Granin's shoes, Snake exits the lab and starts to head back to the warehouse. Shortly after, Snake encounters the Fear. He's just some weird hyperactive guy with arrows and invisibility like Gray Fox.
I am the Fear.
He gets to be very annoying because I just can't find him. Major Useless tells me to look for any rustling leaves and brush that will betray his presence. Oh, great advice. How the fuck am I supposed to detect shit in this environment? I'd have an easier time discerning the difference between natural light and keystone. Ah, fuck it. I'm already up shit creek. I might as well drown myself in it. Come on, fucking die already. Oh, that's perfect. Way to add insult to injury. I get shot in the back by a poison arrow, and then I'm left to die in a frothy river of caca. That sums up pretty well how I feel about this whole fucking game. Eventually, I get lucky enough to beat him. He explodes, and I move on. I'm not sure why it's becoming a trend here. Is it that they want to leave the game so bad that they'd rather blow themselves up? I wonder if that would work. Should have figured. After getting back to the warehouse and traveling through a jungle en route to the mountains, Snake meets the end.
Do you hear me, Snake? I am the end.
100 corny puns later and I'm fighting him. Well, more like trying to find him. I remember the last time I played this, it took me a couple hours to beat him and I was using save states then. So fuck this, I'm cheating. Yeah, how do you like that, you fucking game? Anyway, you check his corpse, have an existential crisis talk with the Major, and then he explodes. What did you expect? Next, Snake enters a tunnel, climbs an infinite ladder, and exits onto the side of a mountain swarming with baddies.
Who's that?
Snake reaches the top of the mountain to meet Eva in a cabin, and she gives him a key to an underground shaft that leads to the Groznygrad lab.
You can follow the tunnel to get inside Groznygrad.
Upon entering the shaft, we encounter our fourth boss battle, the Fury. He's just a generic villain with a flamethrower. He reminds me of Fireball from The Running Man. Surprisingly, this is the most stimulating boss battle so far. I don't have to keep my head underwater, I can actually see him, and the action doesn't move at a snail's pace. Once he's defeated, he rams himself into the ceiling, it turns into a flaming face, and then... They really stuck with this exploding boss theme. Nothing memorable, moving on. Now we're inside Groznygrad. After you snuck past the sentries, you have to make your way over to the East Wing so you can steal a uniform from Colonel Rykov to infiltrate the West Wing and recover Sokolov. Now you can either sneak in as a scientist, or you could just do what I do and kill everybody. If you kill everyone, it becomes a hell of a lot easier to drag Rykov out without having to stop. Well, now I'm looking for this asshole. Where the fuck is he? I've looked in every... What? Okay, so he's hanging out by the toilet. Must be something in the atmosphere. Hey, so, nice day. Fuck it. Take him to the locker room and now you're ready to get Sokolov. Snake finds Sokolov and we get a cutscene where Sokolov explains the Shagohod ICBM delivery system and pleads with Snake to destroy it.
It is essential that you destroy the Shagohod.
Fulgen pops in and starts to question Snake about why he's there. What the hell?
Who are you?
I guess Snake shouldn't have tried to disguise himself as a transsexual. So Snake is tortured, pisses himself, and escapes out the prison into a sewer. But not before checking out the latest edition of GamePro magazine. Snake jumps from the sewer into a river, where he recovers and encounters the last Cobra, the Sorrow.
I am the Sorrow.
I guess I'm supposed to just keep walking until I get to the end of the swamp, so fair enough. I'm not really sure what's going on here though. Is he trying to teach me how to Dougie?
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my Dougie.
In this stage, they've really upped the cheese factor with people walking around like zombies and ghostly wails ripped right from stock audio footage. From what I've read, in this part, the amount of enemies you've killed in the game is proportional to how many ghosts show up in the swamp. Yeah, I get carried away sometimes. Alright, so I got to the end. What do? Okay, I died? What the fuck? Look at this. I punched him right in his ghost dick and I died. What a fucking load of pony baloney. Well, it's an hour later and I still can't figure it out. So I looked up a walkthrough and I guess I'm supposed to select the revival pill when I die. I should have figured it would be a Kojima trick. It also says if you get to the end and with the corpse and then select the revival pill when you die, you supposedly get a special camo. So I go all the way through again, get to the Sorrow's body. I press start to bring up the menu so I can select the pill and... What? I don't even care anymore. Fuck the camo. Just kill me. Kill me. Kill me! What the fuck? You were all on my nuts just a second ago and now you're too good for me? I didn't know spirits could be such fucking assholes. So you press L2 to select the pill, and next thing you know, Snake is vomiting on the riverbank. He runs over to a cave where he meets Eva again, and they sit around a campfire half naked punching butterflies. It starts getting really lovey-dovey in this scene. If my eyes could roll back into my head and then jam themselves into my brain, they would. After they're all dried up, Snake learns that Eva has been doubling as Tatiana, Volgan's personal slave, and she gives Snake some C3 to blow up the lab and the Shagohod upon his return to Groznygrad. After a couple more innuendos, she departs, leaving it up to Snake to finish the job. But not before we take a break. Seriously, if you play this game for too long, you'll develop MGS syndrome, which is characterized by depression, anxiety, and an overwhelming urge to belt out fruity catcalls. Join me next time as we close the final chapter on this rubbish piece of fuckish. Now if you'll excuse me, I gotta go do my laundry.